Yeah, we're live.
Okay, thank you very much. 17th of June 2025, SACRE meeting at 7 p.m. this evening. This meeting will be webcast live on the Council's YouTube channel and can be viewed by the provided link. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our SACRE meeting this evening. This is our third meeting of the year. My name is Councillor Harbhajan Kaur Dear, and I'm the chair of this committee. We have Sinead Galbraith, local authorities SACRE lead, Jan McGuire, SACRE advisor, Zaina Ahmed Kalak to our committee. I just want to really remind members when we discuss our committee agenda, please use chat box to put your views, questions, or comments. Let's start the agenda item from the first is apologies for absence. I have received apology from Councillor Julian Gallant, Miriam Rice for lateness, and Oriel. She won't be able to join tonight. Have we got any apologies, Zaina?
No, I haven't received any.
Sorry?
No.
No, none.
No.
Thank you. Thank you. Urgent matters, none. Not received any declaration of interest. Any declaration of interest? No. No, thank you. Matters to be considered private? No, that I know of. Minutes of the last meeting. Any views, any changes? Do you want me to go by page?
No, Chair, I have read that and I couldn't find anything, so I am all right, Chair.
All right, are they correct?
For my knowledge, yes.
Let me ask other members also, Councillor.
Seem okay to me?
I think yes, Chair.
Right, okay.
Yes, happy with them, Chair.
So the minutes are correct, recorded. Number 6 on the agenda item is SACRE statutory responsibility. I think I will ask Sinead to put some light on this issue. Sinead?
Yes, that's right. So it's the determinations schedule, and we've had one application for determination from Hamborough Primary School, and Sue Larson is going to present the report which they've submitted. She made the visit. Over to you, Sue.
So
thank you. Thank you. Yes, so I visited Hamborough Primary School last week and met with the head teacher. I've written up my report. It should be in the documentation that you got for the meeting. You can see that in my report, I have recommended that we renew the determination. Hamborough Primary's in Southall, and so has very much reflects the community around the school, with a diverse religious community within the school. They have a well-planned programme of assemblies and daily reflection that covers a wide range of religions and viewpoints, and they take their responsibility to make sure that children understand other world faiths and those with no faith very seriously. I wasn't able to observe an act of collective worship or reflection just because of the timing of the visit was a bit tricky, but I did do pupil voice with all the school councils representatives at the school, which was really lovely to hear the pupil talking about their assemblies and the reflections. They were able to discuss how it helped them and the sense of community they get from gathering together through those times. And so there's clearly a strong, well-organised, embedded practice at the school. They clearly take sort of spiritual and moral development of the children seriously. And yeah, it was a pleasure to be there. So I have no hesitation in recommending that we renew the determination.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. I would take questions or concerns or any other comments. Councillor Mahmood.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Sue, for going there, visiting them, and recommending there. I am very happy. This is like you said, it's a very diverse school, and the one thing I'm impressed with the subject on mutual respect, and they are very much working on that. And in resources, they put the video as well about how the children should pay respect with each other. But in your conclusion summary, you pointed out the reflection classes should be happening every day, in every year, in every class. So what you have observed that you observe they are lagging behind, or so I just wanted to know your recommendation and what was the reason behind that.
Yeah, so that I had a discussion with the head teacher about that. So you can see from the paperwork that they submitted that there are times when they gather together in larger groups as a whole school or as a phase for their acts of daily collective worship and reflection. And on the other days of the week, they are doing it in their small class groups in their classrooms, and it's up to the class teacher to find the right time in the day that works for them on the timetable for that particular day. And when I spoke with the head about how she monitors that and how she knows that is happening on a daily basis, she was just very honest, and she says, you know, sometimes there are days in the week where it might not happen in the class because other things sort of take over and the timetable gets sort of squeezed. So she was just very honest at saying that she couldn't say, although it's planned to happen every day, sometimes she would say that maybe it doesn't happen in every class on a daily basis when they're doing those small group reflections. So that was just the point for development for the school to work on, to make sure that there is that daily active reflection taking place.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you. Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Chair. Right, so yeah, just really kind of following on from that, really, one thing that's of interest to me is just seeing some of the reflection activities that are happening, looking at that matters such as road safety and maybe fireworks safety. I think did I see on there, and I'm just trying to really work out how that really is relevant to the subject matter that we're looking at here. And so, or just maybe if it's possible to expand on how that works in practice.
So
yeah, so I think to answer that question is that sometimes there is a theme or a topic that is being explored in the school that's not of a religious nature, but that it's used in for reflection time in terms of the mindfulness that they have with their school values of how to respect and look after one another. And so it's more the moral aspect of things, of them reflecting after they've had teaching on a particular thing about how it's important for them as a community to say follow road safety guidelines or something like that. That is how I understood it from the head teacher. So it's not always of a related to a particular religion, but there are wider themes which they explore as a community and reflect on as a community, and that sort of contributes towards their community cohesion and their understanding of mutual respect for one another.
Thank you.
thank you very much. Thanks, Sue. Any other questions or suggestions? Can't see any other hand up. So members, shall we grant this determination?
Agreed, Chair.
Yeah, agreed. Chair.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Approved. Thank you. Let's move on to agenda item 7. that is a SACRE statutory responsibilities, agreed syllabus conference, update on progress and decisions on next steps. I would like to invite Jan Maguire to update us on agreed syllabus conference. Jan.
Thank you very much. It's been a really very busy time and we have certainly made some progress. So I'm going to just show my slides with you, and I hope that you have also received these in your pack. Now, could you just let me know if you can see these okay?
Not yet.
Is it
No.
showing? I'm not very good with Teams, so I'm hoping. Can you see that all right?
No.
No. All right. You have to bear with me. I'll just have to come out of that again and see if I've done something incorrect. I think I need to press one other button. Sure. I hope I'm doing this correct. Can you see now?
No.
Ah, okay. Then I'm going to have to ask.
You have. Right. Okay. There's nothing.
It says I'm sharing, so I'll just stop sharing. I
think you are, Jan. I think we're seeing your screen now.
You're seeing my screen.
I think we are, yes. If you can see all of us, we're seeing your screen.
Could you see my screen?
We can see the sign. We can see the sign something will come, but it is not appearing.
Probably might come,
okay.
yeah.
All right, if you can't
Maybe
see my
minimize
minimize
that window.
Then I don't know how to do that, I'm afraid. Zaina, I'm going to have to ask you to be very kind and put my my slides up from your from the pack that you sent everybody. I think that's easier, and then hopefully everyone will be able to see them okay. I'll just talk to them. You've all got them in your pack, so hopefully you can look at them on your screen.
Can Zaina or Sinead help you, Jan?
I can just.
Yeah, I'll try and get them up. Jan, if you stop sharing,
yes.
if you stop sharing first of all.
I hopefully have. I should have stopped sharing. Is it saying stop sharing?
I can still see your screen.
Sorry, I'm just going to say you should still be able to share on top of that, and it will cancel whatever
I'm just
Jan's sharing at the moment. So I think that might be better, just having technical difficulties.
Yeah, sorry, I've pressed that stop share 3 times. It doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Okay, this is mine now. Can you see?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can see you, Sinead. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. Good. It's coming up.
That's great. Thank you very much, Sinead.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the documents in your pack, and you can see that we have made some excellent progress. I've highlighted all of the areas that we've now completed. So all of the stages from May through to September 24 were all completed. There were some outstanding last time. So we've actually made some really good progress. All of the papers have now gone through. So all the papers that you agreed last time have been written. And we've also been engaging with our partners, our teachers and the writers and some of the publishers that you agreed at the last meeting. There are a few outstanding things I did want to ask you about today. One of them was about the steering group, and when we can see it on screen, which is not quite coming up yet, so hopefully we will be able to see it on the screen. I will go through the members that we've now got signed up formally on the steering group for the agreed syllabus conference. And my question really is today, would we like additional members? Do we want additional members from SACRE? Of course, I would love to have all of you really. And should we go out to bring on additional teaching members? Again, that's something I would encourage, but my job is really just to raise it as being something that I think would be a good idea. We've probably got to the stage now when we're just holding on finance. So some of the work I'm still going to go ahead with, even though the finance won't be released until next academic year. But just so that we keep the momentum going, I'm just going to carry on with getting the tasks done. But so far, I have pretty much got about halfway through the initial teacher engagement. I've also very pleased to say that the 2 scholars that we put forward for the Farmington Scholarship Programme at Oxford University got their places. So this is brilliant news for Ealing. It's the first time that we've ever had 2 Oxford scholars that will be focusing on religious education, and they will be feeding directly back into the agreed syllabus conference. They won't start that until October, so I'm just engaging with them very lightly at the moment, but we're hoping that they're going to be involved in one of the workshops that Sinead and Claire Rees have kindly agreed that we will run in Ealing, and I think that will be really fantastic engagement for the teachers. I'm continuing with the scoping activities as you asked me to do at the last meeting, and I'm still following through with the RE Today work with Julia Diamond-Conway, who you met at the last meeting. The jigsaw map has now been completed, so I've already got that ready for when we do our work with the teachers. And I'm also engaging about the AMV website, and that's something that I will need to talk to you about today. And I hope you saw the paper in the pack, but one of the suggestions we have is that we try to make the use of our limited finance by working collaboratively with Haringey. And it's a collaboration which is already working very well in the borough, especially in education, but I think wider as well. And so we have an opportunity to work together with the other SACRE team, especially to develop resources. So although we will continue to have our separate document, so that will be the agreed syllabus document, that will remain separate, the resource element we can share and we will be able to benefit from one another. So instead of reinventing the wheel, we can share our resources with Haringey, and Haringey can then share their website with us. And I think all the teachers will really benefit from a huge selection of resources that they wouldn't normally have been able to access. So I will return to that later, but it's just something for you to think about, please. And the final thing that I have started to work on this week is the national changes which have occurred since the last revision that you did in Ealing. And there've been quite a lot of those, as you're aware. So we've had Ofsted changes, we've had the REC changes, we've had the worldview changes, and we've also had the curriculum and assessment review and some of the implications from that. So I'm going to be bringing those in. If you are able to see your pack at the moment, then you will see that I've started to gather together the names of those people that kindly offered their time and their wisdom and their expertise to the agreed syllabus conference membership. So these are the people that we have so far, I believe, but please correct me if I've missed anyone or if anyone would really like to join this group. So we have Councillor Dear, Sinead, myself, Zaina as the clerk. And we also have Joshua Moody, Charlotte Lanigan, Duran Haken. We have Barjinjapol Law, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, Marianne Eisen, Councillor Jonathan Oxley, Nadine Zaire, and Councillor Julian Gallant. Now, there may be others today that would really like to join, especially if you're representing education, the classroom, or whether you have a particular interest in curriculum writing. I would love to see you join the group. No one is excluded. Everybody is welcome. So please do let us know if you would like to join. You're either in the chat bar now, you can put your name in, and maybe Zaina would be very kind and make a note of anybody that would like to join the conference. The main role will be to help us either with the editing process, which will be to share the materials that we produce so that you can have a voice, and maybe it will be your worldview that you will comment on, or it might be with an education hat that you would like to comment more broadly on the curriculum. But everyone's voice is welcome. Our next stage, well, the next stage, we're right in the middle of it. It finishes in July 25. And this is where we are starting to write some of those materials. And as I said, I have started that. We have also got to start reviewing some of the materials as well. And I'm really doing that via the scoping activity at the moment, but I will start pushing some of them to some of the people that have offered to do some of that work with me. And finally, in this section of our work, we are going to be amending the materials, making sure that we're happy with the quality and having some quality assurance. So again, I will be pushing that to others to do. And then in September, we really have to start a big push in getting most of the work really, I think, embedded a little bit more and also trialed with the teachers. So we've got some workshops which we're planning with the teachers, and they will then get to look at the resources and they can help to shape them with their opinions. So there is a lot going on, and the actions really are around increasing the steering group, agreeing whether or not we should go forward to gain more teachers, and also agreeing to whether or not we work collaboratively with Haringey. So that's where I hand over to Councillor Dear to gather your views and your vote. Thank you.
Yeah. Let me ask you before I go a little bit further. My involvement, Jan, as chair of this committee, do you think my role will be okay to attend or to get involved, or would I have a conflict of interest?
It's quite acceptable for you to be on the agreed syllabus conference as chair, and
Right.
And anyone on the SACRE are very welcome to join.
Right.
And there may be times when you don't feel you would like to do certain pieces of work, but then you have the right to say that. So
Right.
everybody is welcome.
Thank you. Councillor Mahmood.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you, Jen, for working to revise agreed syllabus. When we were doing 5 years ago the same process, I seem to remember we, as a SACRE Ealing, we have got already working with 3 different groups. One is councillors, second is faith and community group, and third is teacher. So these three different groups consulted differently on the agreed syllabus. I think that makes work easy instead of choosing people and bringing them on one steering group. That's my personal view. So if we will divide in 3 groups, which we are already working as a 3 group, teachers, counselors, and faith group, or faith/community group. That's my suggestion. And the second thing I just wanted to clarify that it's a very good idea to sharing resources with Harrogate, or that's the really sharing resources is always a good practice. But I'm just wondering, and you clarified that point, by looking at the demographically, when we will be preparing we will be finalizing our agreed syllabus, the diverse borough like Ealing, I think, do you think we need, if we will sharing the resources, the same syllabus will be suitable for Harrogate and Ealing as well? Do you think so? That's wanted to clarify that. And the third thing, if you could cover third one as well, are you not thinking to buy resources or get resources online, or you wanted to hire the people for doing that job? Thank you.
Right, I hope I answered everything. I'll try my very, very best. I think it's a very good idea to, once we have the agreed syllabus conference, the agreed syllabus conference is quite a big group, and we have to decide on that first. Once we have the group, we can then divide them into smaller groups. I think your idea is a very good one. And probably it sort of happens in an iterative way, because the teachers will meet separately when they have their CPD to have the workshops. The steering group element will meet to make some final decisions. And then we have, as you say, a group which will meet to look at the curriculum to sort of do the quality assurance. So there will be like a three-tier system. I think it's a very good idea. There might be some crossover, of course, sometimes between the groups. And in terms of working collaboratively, Haringey actually had their meeting, their SACRE meeting, and they voted that they would be very pleased and in fact delighted to collaborate with Ealing, and said that they had a very good relationship with you already in terms of education, and that they respected the work that you did highly, and so that they would feel very confident in sharing some of the resources. In Ealing, you have got some very nice guidance materials that you paid for 4 or 5 years ago, which Haringey do not have. Yeah. And Haringey have got a very nice website with a huge collection of resources on that we don't have in Ealing. So the idea is that we share the resources, and so that we don't then have to reinvent the wheel in both boroughs. We can actually share the resources as long as SACRE gives that permission on both sides. That does cut down some of the costs, which we don't have this time anyway. We just don't have the finance to rewrite everything. In terms of the actual agreed syllabus document, there are some parallels, but there are some differences. The parallels exist around the 6 areas of inquiry that we share within the Ealing and the Haringey agreed syllabus documents. But the Ealing document has quite a distinctive nature. So there is a time when we cannot just say they're the same, they're not. So what we can do is we can share some of the mapping that we use for the 6 areas of inquiry for the curriculum, but then there will be elements which will be distinctive, and that's where the finance will come in, that I will have to use just for Ealing, and the finance that will come in just for Haringey. Sometimes documents have to be created uniquely for the borough. Did I answer everything?
You answer eloquently. I'm satisfied. But you mentioned that the final document, some of the things we need to implement in Ealing, would that be the separate from Haringey? And they have got resources, massive resources, which we haven't had. So this is always good to join them as well. So I'm happy with this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we got Lakshman. Lakshman?
Hi. I just wanted to ask, so if do the rest of the SACRE committee get a chance to look at the agreed syllabus before it's agreed? If you're not in the, if you can't commit to being in the committee?
Yes, of course. That's I understand what you're saying. Yes, obviously, if you're on the agreed syllabus conference, you would be much more involved in the quality assurance side. So you probably would have more time to raise questions and help to shape it. But of course, everyone on the SACRE will see the documents and will then have to agree them before they're ratified formally. And once you have agreed it as a SACRE, that's when we then send it to the Department of Education. So you will still have time, but it won't be quite as involved for you. I know some of you won't be able to give the time. I do respect that. But even if you could just give a small amount of time, you'd be very welcome on the agreed syllabus conference.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Lakshman. Any more questions? Any concerns? No. So, Jan, as you mentioned, it was quite valid. Lakshman raised that question. So if we really agreed, for example, tonight to share or to approve our collaboration work with the Haringey, SACRE, so the members have a right to rectify or to make changes, or we can make a final decision at the later stage?
Yes, the first agreement really is for the sharing of resources. That's the important thing. So Haringey have already agreed they would be happy for us to use their resources. And so we would then reciprocate that. So as a SACRE, we would agree tonight, if you're happy, then we would then share our resources with Haringey. Now that means that we don't sort of change our agreed syllabus from that point of view. All we're doing is sharing resources that have cost us money to produce, and they will share resources with us that have cost them money to produce. Then when it comes to the actual documents, this is the agreed syllabus, that's when they do have to be still quite unique. We must have an Ealing agreed syllabus that reflects Ealing and the children and the teachers and the community, just as Haringey will need this one to reflect their community.
That's a good thing.
Yes, but there will be some crossover. So for example, when I write the national update, you know, what's been happening nationally, I can do that and it could be the same that goes into both of the reports, if that makes sense.
Thank you. Thank you. Sinead, could I ask your views on this, where we are at the top level?
At the top level.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. As Jan mentioned, there we have a collaboration with them already in the education space. There's a contact that Julie Lewis put us in touch with as well. So I think it would be very positive and a good use of resources. I also think that it's a good idea to try to get a few more teachers and educators on board to look at the sort of forensic detail around the curriculum. And I've actually put out an additional communication to all of our schools about a week ago now, just saying that this went out if you weren't at the RE network. So it's actually gone to all schools, all primaries and all secondaries as well, that this is happening, that we're looking to enlarge the steering group. And if you've got an interest to get in touch, that's for sort of an initial discussion for as planned in here in September. And also interestingly, the high schools have got their subject leader conference tomorrow, RE subject leader conference tomorrow. So I've put a few slides together there as well to sort of link the two about what's going on in terms of the primary.
Right, that's good. Good to know that, Sinead. Thank you. I think Paula sent a message on the chat. She agreed that it's a good idea. Councillor Mahmood, you got a question?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Actually, just to clarify, and I just wanted to remind myself, what is the level of interest in terms of primary and secondary school in regards to participation in agreed summits?
Well, at the moment, I don't think we have any secondary representation, do we, Jan? So it would be interesting to kind of, it's a shame I can't actually, I've got a clash tomorrow and I can't drop in person to the meeting to talk to them, but I've asked Lydia to put together any questions or queries and direct them to me and Jan. But we've through the CPD that Claire, Reese and I've kind of commissioned Jan to do as well, that there will be a way in through contacts and networks and the spirals of inquiry that they're doing in terms of curriculum that might not necessarily be specific to the conference, but there would be parallels with the types of work and types of inquiry that they may be doing. Like I'm thinking in particular transition work between year 6 and year 7, for example, or maybe or maybe specialised curriculum for making reasonable adjustments in secondary schools, that they would be looking to work with some primary teachers in that space. But at the moment, the simple answer is no, we haven't had any interest.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can't see any hands raised or any questions. I assume that all members agreed to approve or to approach having a SACRE sharing with them. Could I take a vote on this matter? Could you please show your hands if you agree to support this approach or to implement?
Marian.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Why is it disappearing?
So are you there, Sue? Sachin Bansal?
Yes, yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Do you agree?
Yes, we
can take your yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So are you there?
Yes,
Sue
yes.
Larson?
I agree. Sorry, having a
you
problem
agree?
with my mic there. No
So
problem.
seems like it's a unanimous, I think, approval. Could we take Zaina?
Yeah.
Yeah, could you take this as approved?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. You can put your hands down. Thank you. Is there anything else I need to ask, Jan?
I think that Sinead has already sort of moved forward with asking.
Yeah, she has. Yes,
so that's really great. And the only other thing on the document, which some of you may have noticed right at the very, very bottom, was that there is a cost in the website. So if we decide to move forward with the website, which teachers have never had in RE before, then there is a £500 cost.
How much? Sorry?
£500 cost.
Yeah.
So that's like a hosting cost. But if other authorities also share it, then the cost will be reduced. We won't know that until they all take their votes in their SACREs, and they all take them about this time of year. So I will keep an eye on that. I'm hoping that a number of SACREs will choose to use that website, and that means the cost for us will be reduced. But it will be no more than £500. But just so you're aware of that.
It won't be any more than £500. Yeah, I think Sinead, it will be okay.
Yeah.
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 Thank you. Are we all agreed?
Agreed, Chair.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Thank you. Thank you. Ola also signed to approve. Yeah, thank you. Agreed. Yeah, thanks, Paula. Thank you. Let's move on to item 8. SACRE statutory responsibilities to schools, CPD training and support to schools from LA. Is it Jan or Sinead? Both, I think.
I'm going to see if you can talk me through. So I'm pressing share, okay? And now I've got a screen up and it says Microsoft tab, window or entire screen. What shall I press? Shall I press the entire screen?
Yeah.
Or the window?
Yep.
Entire
No
screen?
idea.
Try it.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to share.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to see if I can get my my slideshow up. Can you see my slideshow?
No.
Ah.
I think it should have been window, I think.
Okay, I'm going to go back again and see if I can do the window. Very frustrating. This is because I only ever use Zoom normally. Okay, I'm going to go on share. I'm going to go to window. Do I press on one of the windows or just share?
Just press the window that you're presenting, so that way it won't show other tabs on your laptop.
Okay, hopefully that's going to be fine. And then I'm going to press my slideshow, and hopefully this time it will show. Thank you for your talking me through. Can you see?
No.
Oh, okay, right. Well, I did everything that you told me to do, so I don't know why it's not sharing. But it obviously doesn't want to share. I'm going to have to do the same as I did before. Now, in your packs, I have provided you with a presentation, and the slides should be on the screen now, so I could share them with you. So I do apologise for that. Now, it has been a really exciting time, actually, I think, for Ealing, but also nationally. And I did mention earlier that we've got the 2 scholars which are going to start their work in October. But this is really wonderful for the schools, because the schools will get money from Oxford University to support the 2 scholars. So this is Joanne Hakem and Charlotte Lanigan, and they will be supported for a full year. And the school is given money to allow them to have time out of school to do their research and to attend Oxford University. They will have a mentor, and they will be asked to hand in reports to deadlines and also to present at Oxford University. And prior to that, we get the joy of them presenting to us. So that's going to be really exciting. And there will be an event in Ealing, maybe at a head teachers conference, or maybe to the teachers, maybe to us as a SACRE. We will all get invited, and they will share their research with us, which is very, very exciting. The research that they're both doing is quite different, and they're going to use that to feed into the agreed syllabus conference. So it's a very exciting time for us. We will then have 2 trained up RE specialists that can then share their knowledge and all of the things they've learnt to other teachers in Ealing. So they will become like advisors, if you like, you know, your own homegrown advisors. Eventually you won't need me, and you will have them instead, maybe. So this is why it's so exciting, and I think it's the first time we've ever had that, and maybe we'll have more in the future once the teachers see how wonderful it is. So it's very, very exciting. The other thing that was exciting was that we always attend the SACRE conference, and I represented Ealing at the conference. We had Lord Khan sent us a message to all SACREs, and the message was very positive. He said that he was a big fan of SACREs because we had such an important role in social cohesion. He said that SACREs are champions of unity and shared values. And he also said that schools need to foster knowledge and awareness of shared values, learning to disagree well, and respect and collaboration, and celebrating diversity and reflection. He's a real champion for SACREs at the moment. And so if those of you that feel like writing a letter to an MP, maybe quote Lord Khan in your letter. If you feel it's worth your time and you like to lobby, then they are very responsive to SACRE members. So please do send something in. I was invited up, I think I may have told you, I got invited up to the House of Commons in January to talk about the Children and Welfare Schools Bill. And the second reading of that was in the House of Lords on the 1st of May, and I got invited up again. And that was very interesting. Lord Khan ran that meeting, and we were listening about the interfaith consultation report. And interfaith is still very important. I know a lot of you are wonderful champions of interfaith. Those of you that sit on SACRE also are part of interfaith groups in the community. And it was really, the message was to thank all of you, and that it was important that we kept that going, because the community benefits from it, and especially the children. There was also a message from the RE hubs to say that anyone who hasn't yet signed up as a speaker and would like to be a speaker representing your worldview, then the RE hubs is still running free training. And once you've passed the training, your name goes up onto the RE hubs website. There are over 100 speakers now, and teachers can then click onto an area. So let's say an Ealing teacher clicks onto London or onto Ealing, and they can find the worldviews representatives that can come to their school to speak to the children about religion and worldviews, their faith, beliefs, or maybe a theme. So let's say they were looking at something like charity, then they may ask if a speaker could come in to talk about charity and their worldview. So please do consider that. I think really that's everything, but it is an exciting time. We're still waiting on the curriculum and assessment review, as many of you I'm sure are really aware. And it looks like RE has been put down as one of the action points. So we need to watch this space. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. I think Sinead asked you, Jan, if she can. What was the question, Sinead?
I was just saying if you wanted me to put the slide set up again, but
yeah,
I don't think it was needed.
yeah.
Too quick.
That would have been lovely for everyone to have seen on the screen, but hopefully everyone had a look in their pack and you could see the slides. But if there are any questions, or you think there's anything else that you would like me to do on behalf of Ealing, then always let me know. There is always a lot going on. I do try to attend as many things as possible to represent Ealing. And I think this is how we raise our profile, and also hopefully we will have more of our teachers and our schools involved in some of these exciting things going forward, maybe taking some of them up to Westminster to talk about why they think diversity and inclusion and religious and worldviews is important. That would be a lovely thing. I'm taking one group up on the 2nd of July, but nobody from Ealing yet. So maybe next time it will be Ealing that we take.
Right. Sinead?
I think, unfortunately, I think that it's the wrong slide set that's been included in the pack. I think that was the slide set for the Ealing update.
We don't have in our packs, no.
No.
No. I think it was verbal, if really update, not in the pack. Yeah, that's why we didn't have that pack, Jan. Yeah. Okay, so we got Sue Larson. Sue?
Hi there, thanks so much for what you shared, Jan. I just had a question, really exciting to hear about the two people who are going to be doing this research, Duran and Charlotte. Do you know particularly what aspects they are researching, what their questions are, what they're looking at?
I do have that detail on an email, which I might be able to find very quickly. Let me just see if I can.
Thank you.
I know that Charlotte's very interested in the sequential and spiral curriculum. So I know that's something that she's going to be looking at, and that I know that there is an element of iterative thinking. So sometimes in Oxford, you might start with an idea, but you might not end up actually doing that work at the end. So I think that's where they'll start, but there is a process that now happens between now and October when they actually begin the work. But I know that Charlotte is very keen to look at the way that curriculum builds and the way that learning builds in a child's education, all the way through primary, then through to secondary. So I'm sure that she'll probably end up staying with that because she's very excited by it. And I know that in Ealing, we've got some experts in that area already So we're going to hopefully link her in with those experts, as well as some of the university lecturers around the country that we know are also working in those areas. So it will be very exciting, I think, for Charlotte. Duran was more interested in the idea that in an RE lesson, if a child never hears about their worldview or their religion, do they feel they actually belong? Does it impact on them in the way they see themselves and the way they see their worldview if it's never mentioned in their classroom? Now, that's a really important philosophical idea, which is being played around with by many academics at the moment. So I think he's actually thinking about something that is quite in tune with what's happening nationally. So I'm hoping there will be some scholars that are just starting to get their ideas formulated that I can link him up with. I'm going to a big RE conference in Exeter. For my sins, I actually helped run that. And we've got people coming from all over England and Wales, Scotland, Ireland and Europe to the conference. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Duran and Charlotte on a board, their names, and I'm going to ask university lecturers to match themselves up with them with their contact details, so that when I get back to Ealing, I can actually link them together and we can have some really, hopefully, some fantastic collaborative partners with some of the lecturers around the country. But it could change, Sue. So we have to, we just have to go with them. They've got to find something they really want to get their teeth into.
Well, that sounds great. Thanks so much for those details, Jan. It'll be really interesting to see what their research, you know, what they find out.
Thank you. Thank you. Councillor Mahmood.
Thank you, Chair. And Jen, good to see that you, as you mentioned us, is a very interesting time and very exciting time, and especially for Ealing as well. And good to know that I have seen Lord Wajid Khan remarks as well. And I coincidentally, I had a opportunity to see him in Ealing, and he's got a very special association in Ealing. And I had a meeting with him in Ealing last month. So he's very passionate about that. And what I seem to remember when I'm talking to you, and I discussed with him as well, and I am raising that point with you as well. If you see, don't you think this is exciting time, very interesting time, but can we not obliged to motivate new RE teacher? The figure is showing, and facts and figures are showing, in Ealing especially, we are significantly declining the RE teacher. So actually we need to motivate the teacher to come to teach the RE, which we are lacking at the moment. So don't you think this is an opportunity to inspire the teacher to become an RE teacher? That's I wanted to link that inspirational movement with motivating with the teachers to come to teach the RE. Otherwise, honestly, we are running out of RE teachers, and that could be a major problem in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mahmood. It's absolutely correct that nationally we have had a real problem with recruiting religious education teachers. We have a subsidy, but it doesn't align with other subsidies, and this has been raised in Westminster. So the teachers that are training in RE get 10,000, whereas teachers in geography are getting 20,000. So we're saying, look, if you want the teachers to come in, you might be finding some teachers are going to swap over. You know, they'll choose another subject that gets a better bursary. They may not take RE. So we have raised that, and that's an ongoing thing to raise. One thing we can say, of course, is that when we are advertising in Ealing for religious education teachers, is that we can remind our head teachers that we have got things like the Farmington Scholars Programme, which is quite unique. It does not happen everywhere in the country. And if we've got really good RE opportunities going, that might attract teachers to come to teach in our schools in Ealing. But yes, we do need to support teachers. And the other thing we need to do is retain them. And so to retain them, of course, it's about excellent CPD, making sure they feel they're valued. And I must say that Sinead and Claire and Corinne and Julie are very supportive of the RE workshops and the training programme. And that's really, you know, that's what we have to say thank you for. And also that we are supported as a SACRE. And what we want, of course, is that for that to continue so that we can help support the teachers. But thank you for raising that point. Thank you.
Thanks, Jan. Sinead, do you want to talk about the statutory responsibilities?
Yeah, well, actually, just on that point about it's just worth reminding ourselves that not everywhere has a learning partnership like Ealing does, which has a commitment from both the council and our schools, and the, you know, the percentage of our schools that buy back into that learning partnership, and it does afford us, you know, a real collaborative and collective sort of overview and pooling of resources, particularly around CPD, continuing professional development, training opportunities, workshops, because I had a very brief chat with Joanne about his interest in the idea of belonging, and could see this. There's a huge amount of work that's been done in the inclusion space and racial literacy space, and we started talking about those links, and the learning partnership is able to sort of pool of that kind of all of those sort of themes, and you've got a bank of resources and professionals who are kind of coming together very powerfully to be able to do that. And I think that as Jan has kind of said, it doesn't happen everywhere. Not every local authority has a learning partnership like Ealing's. So just wanted to sort of say that that is kind of linked to finance as well, because I think we get a lot more for the finance that we put in around SACRE because of that. Our education centre out at Greenford, for example, can be a venue, can be a space for people to kind of come and meet face to face, and the resources and the networks that we already have set up are very strong. Yeah, so I wanted to just sort of mention that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Any questions, guys? Any comments? No. Thank you. Let's move on to item number 9, links with other bodies, national update. Jan.
So verbally, I think really I've probably covered everything tonight, because
have you?
Yes, I think we really have had so many sort of links in Ealing with all of those national bodies, and
you have,
I think it's been a very successful time actually, and it's just whether or not you want me to have any additional links, you know, because I can go out there further if you wish me to, and my role really is to represent you as widely as I can, but also to make sure I bring the information back to you so that you feel that you're informed, and that if you want to engage with any of those groups, then you can. So over to you, really. I think I've covered everything.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Number 10, SACRE own arrangements. Support to schools membership finance of the ASA. Sinead, I think it's verbal input.
Verbal input. I think you've got a hand up before I start.
Councillor Mahmood. Councillor Mahmood, I didn't see your hand.
No problem. Miriam Rice was there as well, but no problem.
Was she? Sorry.
No worries. I think she. Miriam, you want to go first?
Councillor Rice?
Yes, thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand up.
No problem, Chair. I'm very sorry. I'm a bit like a little bit last minute there, because on the national side, I was actually just quite intrigued. I don't know if it's necessarily relevant to the report, but as to kind of discussions that maybe we're having on a national basis and other people's experiences on a national basis, because I know it's been a very tense time since there's very sad murders in Southport last year, and a lot of tensions that people are experiencing elsewhere. And I'm just really wondering what the experience of external organisations who may be based in other parts of the country, have they spoken about their kind of experiences in trying to handle tensions that are happening elsewhere? Because I know it's not really a case in London as much, but just for the sake of just of interest as to the work there may be as religious education, as to what we can do in order to increase understanding and stop this blasted prejudice and jumping on bandwagons that's going on at the moment. Thank you.
Good question. Thank you, Councillor Rice. Yeah, Jan?
It's a very, very good question. It's a very sensitive area, and it's one I think that a lot of schools find quite controversial to deal with. So it's very difficult for teachers sometimes to deal with some of the questions that the children raise in the classroom, and also questions and situations that might arise in the playground and in the community. So it can be really very hard for teachers of not just religious education. It impacts on all teachers actually, and it's a topic which all teachers should be aware of. In religious education, I think teachers are very used to dealing with questions from the children because questions are encouraged. We like the children to have a curious mind, and we hope that we can help the children to listen and to disagree well. And that's a hard skill to teach, but it's a collective responsibility. It's not just the RE teachers, and I think that's important for us to state. There are organisations which are offering support. So there's an organisation that works a lot in London called Solution Not Sides, and I did share that, I believe, a long time ago now, but if they do automatically email through to local authorities as well. And I know that in Ealing they have a very good system of sharing ideas and resources to their head teachers when they come through. And that on the whole is a free support package. So that's something that RE teachers do sometimes pick up on, but it's a difficult one, isn't it? You know, because it isn't just RE that should be dealing with it. It should be all of us dealing with it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We got Sachin Bansal. Sachin?
Yes, just a brief comment on this one, that there is a prevent program in councils, and schools have a statutory duty to implement that. So the core topic, Councillor Miriam, that you address is actually addressed under that prevent program. So as Jen said, that it's everybody's responsibility to ensure that all staff members, all school teachers and all children are actually made aware of the policies of that program, and councils have teams in place. So there's a multi kind of coordinated team that works along as part of that program. So rather than coming directly into RE area, it's everybody's responsibility and handled by the prevent team actually. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Sachin. Councillor Mahmood.
Thank you, Chair. Just to quickly remind you, Jen, as you mentioned, the external connecting with external bodies. So I'm just wondering, we always lacking in terms of worldviews. So are you engaging the people who represent worldviews and they've got views about no faith but worldviews? That is, we need to put them on board as well.
Yes, thank you. That's a very good point. And as part of the agreed syllabus conference work, I certainly will be reaching out to organisations that represent the different worldviews. So, for example, Humanists UK, you mentioned those with that are outside of that religious bracket. I will be reaching out to them, but I'll also be reaching out to other associations that represent some of the bigger worldviews. And all of you, of course. I would like to capture all the voices that we can capture. And I do attend meetings where a lot of the different voices are there. You know, when we go to the meetings, for example, at Westminster, a lot of the representatives are coming from all of those different worldviews, and we can make wonderful connections. And I get great, you know, people give me their contact details, and that's always helpful. But it's an ongoing thing; it never finishes.
Thank you. Thank you to those.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Sinead said it's a communication. Sorry. Yeah, there are a lot of resources, training, workshops, and programs. I think it's better to read in the chat box, please. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Sinead. Right. Have we noted all verbal updates, members?
Yes.
Noted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I can see some people just nod. Yeah, thank you. Number 10 is SACRE's own arrangement. It's a Sinead.
So just an update on membership. So there should be in the pack there is an up-to-date membership list.
Yeah.
We've had 3 new members since our last meeting. They're on the list now, and there are a couple of vacancies in Group A. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 vacancies in Group A, 3 vacancies in Group C, and they're being followed up and communicated with by SANAP.
Yeah.
There is a standard letter that's kind of gone out, but it's mainly the teaching unions actually.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And yeah, I think that was it. Sorry.
Finance of the ASC. Have you talked about it?
Yeah, we've talked about that, and that's been
about
agreed.
That.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Thank you. Right. SACRE work plan, Sinead.
Yeah, that's me again.
Yes.
So I'll just go through and rate the agenda items. The determination application for Hamborough is green.
Yeah.
That's for summer. The determination schedule, you've got a copy in your pack, and we're all on track. There is one that's overdue, and that's being followed up currently. So that's green. Our guidance for schools, that's our networks, the ASC workshops, and the networks, that's green. Further CPD that we've just agreed for next year, because we've also included in the pack the work plan for 25-26.
Yeah.
But for the moment, agreed syllabus I put as amber, because we're attempting to widen that steering group to get some more teachers on board. So that's why that one's amber. Annual report was submitted to the DFE and the SACRE website as well. That's published on there. That also went out through EGFL, Ealing Grid for Learning, our communication platform with schools, in May as a news item. So for anyone that had missed it or missed the update, so I put that as green as well. Update on membership and vacancies, we've put as amber because there's some to follow up there in terms of attendance and vacancies. Local and national updates green, and the last item is to rate the work plan, which is done, so that's also green.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Sinead. I have a just when we had first the determination of this school, noticed only Sue Larson visits to schools. Nobody other member offers to visit these schools. can I ask members, please put your names forward with any other teacher or with any other member. I think it's better to have 2 people to visit schools in the future. Also, I'm sure there will be updated membership list in the pack in the future. We need to ask sign up to complete it and to add the list in the pack. Thank you very much. I think we have done well, and the date of the next meeting is on the 30th of September at 7 p.m. And the meeting is there any other concern, any issues anybody want to raise? No.
Could I raise one point that the Ealing's SACRE constitution was last
Yeah.
updated in May 21. So
Yeah.
I think it would be a good idea to put that on the agenda for September to start to look through that and update it.
SACRE
It's-
constitution,
It's
yeah.
our SACRE constitution. It's recommended to update minimum 4 years, and so we're just over 4 years. So it would be good if we could get that started and looked at.
I have made a note here. Thank you very much. I think Zana also made a note. Was it Aisha? Yes, Councillor Raida.
Yeah, it's just a sort of any other business, really. I attended today at St Paul's Cathedral, where they had a multi-faith service for Srebrenica and how it's like the 30th anniversary. So there was a lot of very, very poignant readings and a lot of testimony from people who'd survived. So it was a really lovely occasion, actually, how when we do multi-faith work well, it's really quite something. I was really very impressed with how they brought that together and how everybody was available. I did actually go and tell all the faith leaders who were there that it was very much appreciated, and spoke to some of the people who were survivors. So it was a lovely occasion, and I think, you know, London has got a lot to be proud of. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you very much for representing Ealing Borough. Thank you very much. Yeah. So now it's the time is 8:14. Any other business if I ask other members? No. So meeting is closed at 8:14. The next meeting on 30th of September, 7 p.m. Thank you very much. Thanks for attending the meeting. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good night.